Coach Red Pill is a lot like a meth dealer, and the thing is, that's what it's like to peddle misinformation. Jackson Hinkle, any of these people. But the thing you're supposed to not do is smoke your own supply. But the problem is, Coach Red Pill did, and he believed his own nonsense, and that might be his downfall. He is dead. He's not dead. Here is the timestamp. Okay. Let me go listen to the Coach Red Pill theory.
But you know why?
Why?
Why he left Ukraine?
He got deported. Didn't he?
It's not. No, he's self-deported.
Oh, he ran.
No, he asked to be deported because when he was arrested, okay,
right.
what he was doing, he was arrested because of, he was potentially a spy. He thought he was a spy because what he was doing, he was running around Kharkiv, taking pictures of Ukrainian positions and Ukrainian troops and everything.
Right.
And it turns out he was being paid to take pictures of the Ukrainian artillery positions and mortar positions.
The Russians do this. It's not a massive amount of money, but it's like hundreds of dollars. I don't know why he would need that money, considering he has like an online thing that he can make money from.
And
by the Russians.
By the Russians. And when he was arrested by the whoever the fuck, the Ukrainian special police, whoever the fuck they're called, I forget what it, because we contacted them and asked, because the thing is, he was brought in for questioning, and he was
Kharkiv is the code name for his mom's basement.
The SBU, yes, thank you.
Yes,
he was interrogated by the SBU, and if he was interrogated by the SBU, that definitely means there is footage of him being interrogated. And I wanted to get that footage, so we contacted the SBU and asked, and they gave us the deets on what had happened. Basically, what happened is he was arrested, and they found like he'd gone around taking pictures. They weren't particularly great pictures, but he was being paid to do it. And they said, "Okay, well, look, look, this is you're being arrested for being a spy. This is clearly spy work.
Yeah.
You know, this is
bro.
You know, this is espionage. This is a very serious crime."
Okay, I'm sorry. So I this is insane. This is an insane story. If this is true, this means Coach Red Pill, like all of the stuff he said online about him being persecuted by the SBU, about how the SBU was mean to him, about how Ukraine was oppressing him. Like, if what he is saying is true, the fact that he was able to voluntarily even leave is a miracle. Is an honest to God miracle that the Ukrainians would even let him go. If I got exposed for taking positions of Ukrainian military positions, sending it to the Russians to get those people killed, I would assume that I would just disappear, or at least at the very least be permanently detained until the war is over, or until an extradition thing is like negotiated with the state or something. That's insane. That's actually insane. They just called and asked. Why hadn't anybody done that? This is a wild story from Laserpig. This would mean that like Coach Red Pill made himself a combatant in the war in a way by taking these pictures. He decided to become a spy for the Russians, and now is reaping the consequences of spying for the force that I guess he assumed would win in like a few days.
You know, you'll spend the rest of your life in prison. So he broke down completely, apparently, and asked for a plea deal, and he gave up the names of 5 Russian saboteurs and collaborators that were working in Ukraine.
No way!
Such a bad fucking spy.
Oh god, yeah.
He accidentally.
Yeah.
You guys made it to 54% of a level 10. That is literally ridiculous. What the
hell yeah! So he snitched on these. He snitched on these collaborators. He gave up the 5 names, led to 5 arrests.
Yeah.
And he was given the choice.
Yeah.
That, all right, you can remain in Kharkiv, remain under house arrest until the war is over, and then you'll be put on trial. Or you can be deported.
Yeah.
And he originally chose to stay.
Right. What a dumb... I'm sorry. Dude, take the first plane out. If they put you on trial after the war, do you think the Ukrainians are going to be like super like, oh yeah, we forgive everybody who helped slaughter our nation, that helped, you know, fill up these mass graves, anybody who gave the Russians info that they then used to kill people? Oh yes, we'd very much like to help you out. I can tell you right now that Ukrainians view collaborators in this country horribly, terribly. I do not think that, I mean, he might get a fair shake, but a fair shake might be 5 to 10 years in prison. I mean, this is insane. Why wouldn't he immediately leave the country? Just come up with any excuse in the world.
It was like, that's fine, that's fine.
Okay, so I had heard, this is what I can tell you, I had heard about Coach Red Pill. I had heard from people who had private conversations with Coach Red Pill that Coach Red Pill was unbelievably paranoid, that he was positive someone was going to come out and get him, that he saw himself on that list, that list of like supporters of Russia or people unfriendly to Ukraine. He genuinely thinks that's a kill list, and he thought someone was going to come kill him. So he's terrified of people knowing where exactly he was in Kharkiv, where he lives in Kharkiv. Absolutely terrified. That's what I heard. And I heard that from directly somebody who had a conversation with him about it. Somebody I trust on it too. So, I mean, I guess that paranoid would seem a little bit more warranted if he knew that the government detained him and were just holding on to him until the war was over. But like, he could just leave unless he genuinely believes that the Russians are going to take over. And this isn't just cope and grift that caused him to say all these false things about the war, like, oh, the Russians blew up the HIMARS and they destroyed them all, or oh, the Russians destroyed the M77, how they destroyed them all, or any of the crazy claims he's made, or oh, Poland and Hungary are going to annex parts of Ukraine and yada yada yada. Like, if he really believes it, that's the only reason I could imagine he stays in the country under this scenario, which could mean that, you know, Coach Red Pill is a lot like a meth dealer. And the thing is, and that's what it's like to peddle misinformation. Jackson Hinkle, any of these people. But the thing you're supposed to not do is smoke your own supply. But the problem is Coach Red Pill did, and he believed his own nonsense, and that might be his downfall.
But then he started to become like increasingly paranoid.
This is true. This is true. I've heard this from directly people who've had private conversations with Coach Red Pill. This part I can confirm.
Because he
well, obviously I cannot say I've seen it, but I heard it from people that I trust.
genuinely thought like the pro-Russian people were now coming to like assassinate him because he'd given up those names.
Is that where the NATO is coming for me bullshit came from?
Well, no. I hadn't heard the idea that pro-Russia people were coming for him because he gave names. I only heard the idea that because he was on this quote-unquote Ukrainian hit list, that he was going to get assassinated, so he was terrified of telling anyone where he was or what he was doing at all times.
That's it. He became like, and he stopped going outside. He stopped opening his windows. He kept all the blinds down. He became like really unwell because he wouldn't eat. He got a welfare check, and when the social workers went to see him, the social workers went to see him, and he basically said, "I've changed my mind. I want to leave. I want to get out of Ukraine." So the SBU showed up. Like 3 police officers escorted him onto the train. One of them apparently even bought him like a sandwich and a cup of coffee, and took him to Poland the whole way.
Dude, I'm just imagining Coach Red Pill just in the train car, just like paranoid, terrified, and like the Ukrainian social worker comes up to him like, "Do you want a sandwich?" Yes, I want a sandwich. What type? Peanut butter and jelly? I'll get you a PB&J. What type of drink do you want? You have orange drink? We have orange drink. I'll get you a Fanta. Like, oh my God, I couldn't imagine the consoling, that ride, the things that were going through his brain as how he thought the Russians were going to run into glorious victory and conquer all the country, and now he's running out of it because he shared he showed the locations of Ukrainian soldiers to the Russians for some cheap dough. Oh my God. Oof.
Escorted him to Poland, and he was dropped off there, and apparently either now lives in the Netherlands or lives...
Oh, and that's also true. That somebody just brought up a good point. Wouldn't he be dead either way if he stayed? That's true. Now that he gave the names, he's screwed if the war ends and he's put on trial, and he's screwed if the Russians capture him and they find out he gave names. Hell, he might be more screwed if the Russians win now and he was in the country, because they find out he give up 5 names. Well, then he's a traitor. He's a collaborator with the Banderites. And I gotta say, the Russians do not have a good record when it comes to treating prisoners well and not executing them.
In Vienna.
Fucking Gorgonzola Lira, man. I don't know.
Oh,
I'm not going to
God.
call him anything else. I don't remember what his actual name is.
Gazpacho Leaf or something. I don't know.
Who cares? I can't fucking believe you lunatics got about halfway to that sub goal in the course of about like 10 minutes. Yeah,
Yeah.
it was 805. So one of my mods just said, yeah, like 425 to go. Like, where'd half of that number go?
Okay, that's enough of this. Look, at the end of the day, we're taking Laserpig and is contacting at his word. While I do trust Laserpig more than I trust Coach Redpill, this is still a very tall tale. I kind of want it to be true because it would be very, very, very funny if it was true that technically, in a way, Coach Redpill contributed more to Russia losing by giving up those 5 names than he did to them winning through his online activism. I mean, that's crazy. That'd be crazy if the one thing that Gonzalo Lira contributed to the war effort in actuality was the giving up of names of fellow collaborators. That would be absolutely hilarious. The story tracks. The story does kind of track, you know, with what I've heard when it comes to like how he was acting behind the scenes. Of course, the rest of that, it's kind of hard for me to confirm. But man, what the hell? What an incredible rumor. You know what? I should do what Coach Redpill does. I want it to be true, therefore it's true. There you go, chat. Official take. It's true. It's officially true.